Hey guys, we've been covering the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I had some alarming information sent to me yesterday afternoon. Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared on February 26, 2024, and he has since turned 16. He disappeared from inside his locked home where he was allegedly only with his mother and no one else. There was no signs of forced entry, and it wasn't until March 14th that we realized there was some disturbances outside of the home where there were flashlights appearing on a neighbor's camera. Since then, I was sent a link to a video, and I ran that video on my show today, and it doesn't look good, and I do believe it's legitimate footage. This footage has been enhanced and identifies a lot more than we could have ever thought. Please take a look.
The best part about it is he has managed to do this without any evidence left behind whatsoever.
Used what Wi-Fi's were in the area. Right. Now, mind you, it was said that there were only, 2 exterior internet sources that came in and out of the area that night? Mm-hmm. And isn't it funny how one person said one of them was his?
This image was sent to me, and I decided to do some further enhancements on it. So here's one shot where you can see Mr. Foot carrying something, but upon closer review and more enhancement of the photo, this is what I see now to be Katie, Chris, and Sebastian. They're carrying Sebastian. It looks to me as if Chris is carrying Sebastian in either a blanket or a bag. I see a blanket just because of the way the black shape is formed, and it looks like he's carrying him like a baby, and Katie is standing behind him or walking with him. The reason I think this is because when I was enhancing the photos, I could see the differences in the appearance of what looks to me to be a human face, and it looked to me like it was actually a human arm that was draped over the person who was carrying the black blanket, or the perceived person in the black blanket. But here's an example of what I saw. Here you can see the differences and enhancements, and as I enhanced each photo, you can tell that the person's skin stays the same color, and the black blanket also stays the same color, so I know that those two images are associated with each other. So as you can see, each time I enhance the photo, you can see that the core images stayed the same. And then there's this little nugget. Let's watch.
Drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already...
Now, while I can't replicate this information, and quite frankly, it's highly disturbing for me, it does appear that it's legitimate footage. It appears that it's legitimate footage from the lights video that was enhanced. And it appears that there was 2 people loading a large object into a vehicle. We've heard statements from the stepdad, multiple statements, that we'll never find Sebastian. Boastful statements that the best part about it is he never left evidence when referring to his stepson. Like I told my audience on YouTube, it's time for us to pray. It's time for us to pray for Sebastian. It's time for us to pray that he's found safely and is brought home to his father. God bless each and every person watching this video. It's time to pray. God bless. What we do know as fact, however, is that Seth has been searching for his son ever since his son disappeared. Seth has publicly taken a polygraph. He has publicly produced his work records. This man has done everything he could possibly do, including working with the FBI, working with me to advocate for his son, calling on the national media, getting Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we're here with what from the mom and stepfather? Nothing for almost 10 months. Shoddy searches at best, working with an unscrupulous PI, felons, and including one searcher utilizing substances, illicit substances, while searching for their son. Hello, my beautiful people. Hello. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. We are going to be kind of quickly going through some things. So I have been talking about this video that came out from Lady Freedom Raw Narratives, and realized that some of the work was done by Grace's Gavel. And so I put this out there because, I watched Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives last night, a live that she did, and she seemed to be open to interpretation of the stuff she was seeing. She seemed to understand that some people are seeing things a little differently than she may. And so I kind of pitched this morning for everybody to look at it. I've sent it to a few people that reached out to me by email. I posted it on my community tab for anybody to take a gander at looking at the photo, because let's face it, our brains think differently than one another at times. We have a right brain thinker and a left brain thinker. So people might be getting different stuff out. It's almost like, in essence, and I don't want to downgrade what we're looking at or anything, but like a Dali painting, you got to look at it. You got to, some people get different things out of the photos. So I wanted to make sure, and I got to tell you, I'm going to have to push this down, and then give me just a second while it comes up so I can get the right frame on here that I want to use. So I got one that was really concerning, the most concerning for me. And when it came in, like, you can see it. You can absolutely see what they're seeing in this photo. And then it followed by another person sending something else in. And I could see the image that they were seeing as well. So I'm like, okay, if this is happening to me, I'm sure that a lot of people are seeing different things. So now we have a little bit more to work with here. Some interpretations, some decent, very good interpretations of the photos. So I wanted to present those to you tonight here on a few interpretations, and ask you all to please go check out the photo I posted on my community tab and take a gander at it and see if you see something else. So we absolutely know the original post. The original post was this one right here. This is the original post that we have been talking about, what people think they see. This looks pretty outrageous. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. It's very disturbing for me. Okay. And I can only think, thank you, Hobo's Life. If it's very disturbing for me, it's got to be very disturbing for all of you with this. And like I said, don't jump to conclusions, because we see something being taken out. It doesn't mean anything at this point. We can have our theories, but don't let it bias what we're seeing here and what factually is. You see what I'm saying? Don't let it hinder you. We're not seeing our theory, okay? What we're seeing is somebody that looks like Chris and potentially Katie bringing something to a vehicle, okay? That's all we're seeing. That's all we're potentially seeing. This means nothing more than that. So this is the original. Now we're getting into the first one. This one almost made me want to cry. But once I saw this, I could absolutely see what they are seeing in this photo. Looking at it differently. Instead of Sebastian's head being up here, they're saying the head is down here and these are arms. Obviously, that is very much a more concerning picture of what we could be seeing here. Still keeping this as Sebastian, this out back here as, Katie, and of course this over here as Chris, right? So that's what they how they believe. This is very, obviously a more heartbreaking thought if that's what we're seeing. But then shortly after that, somebody had sent me this particular image. And then I started seeing this image as well. Now, I can't make heads or tails of this. We've got 3 different interpretations of this email, or excuse me, this photo rather. Sorry about that. And now this one has, the person that started breaking this one down actually provided me some receipts, like why they think this way. Why do they think, this right here is Katie? And the reason why is because right here, you see like the ponytail and you see like the black hoodie here. And you see the ponytail here. So they're saying this is the top of the head, the ponytail. This is like the shoulder. This is like the shoulder of her clothes. And it looks like she's peeking in the car. And they believe in this particular image, they believe that this white piece between them is what Chris is carrying. And then this on the outside being Chris. This giving us a perfect appearance of what Katie looked like that evening, which is in the photo next to that particular photo. And that's from the Texas Roadhouse film. So there is, this option as well. And when I saw this, and I'm like, holy crap, I can see this, so I know that by staring at this image, we're seeing a lot of different stuff here. So I thought I would present it to you. Now, one other thing that somebody had sent me, and I don't think I have it here. This one kind of brings everybody out. So you can kind of see the ponytail a little bit more in the shoulder here of the black hoodie. So they actually went out and, did the best they could about, getting why they feel that. And I never saw that. I never saw that until this was pointed out. And now that this is pointed out, you kind of see it. However, when this was pointed out, where is it? And you see like the draping hands here, right? And the head kind of here. So it really is about interpretation. Now, somebody had sent me something. I'm going to have to explain it to you. I don't have the image here for whatever reason to show you. And somebody believes this is Katie. This is Chris. And that Chris has Sebastian over his shoulders, carrying him on his back. That's what the other, and that this is Katie, this is Chris, and that weird shadowing back here is the carrying of him on his shoulders. That also came to me. So now we have 4 different interpretations of this photo. But the one thing I can tell you out of all these interpretations, the one component stays exactly the same. And you know what it is? It's this being right here. This has always stayed the same in everybody's opinion of everything else, what they see in the images. So again, I wasn't there. I don't really have a crystal ball on, what we know. What we're seeing here are human beings. We know that beyond a doubt. But what are we seeing? I don't want people allowing their theories and speculation on the facts we've got up to this point poison what we're seeing, because at times when we have something, we just have to look at it for what it is. And right now, what we're seeing is a possibility of why we understand that there's no evidence of Sebastian walking out of the home, because it doesn't appear he did walk out of the home. Okay, that's all we're seeing at this point. So I really don't want to jump the gun just yet and start saying more about this photo, but we do have several interpretations. And once you start seeing those interpretations, you can clearly see them in the images. So we don't know what we have here. So we have kind of a hot and cold photo. We know that they're human. We know that this was generated by the Lights video, one of the leaked videos. And we know that there are, at least the one thing all of us have agreed on so far, despite our interpretation, there are 3 people there in that clump. Nobody has provided an alternate theory of this photo that excludes either the mom, stepdad, or Sebastian. So, and this was seen just hours before he was reported missing. And again, I'm not going to harp on the photo, but it's just to encourage more people to really pay attention to this photo. Maybe some person is better with, seeing images like this, right? Maybe they have to decipher stuff where other people do not. So I want everybody to look at these photos, please. And if you have an interpretation, you guys see what everybody else has been providing me. They're kind of outlining it. They're explaining it, letting them know where they believe the head is, the arms are, the feet, the butt, and what they believe is going on here. And because we have this space right here that nobody can figure out what this is. Is this just an open space? Is this a sock? Is this, so we need to figure this out right here. I think if we can figure out what this spot is, then we'll be able to figure out what we're seeing, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. But I didn't want to take too much of your time this evening, folks. I just wanted to come here and go over what I've received so far. So I'm hoping that you guys will review the photo and check out what it is and what you think it is, because I'm only one person. We literally right now have 662 people looking at these images that could help us decide what we're seeing here. But the one thing, what did Tori say? I heard somebody say that was a good idea. Maybe Pinchot can do something. That would be amazing. And I'm pretty sure Pinchot would have this, or, if you guys could let Pinchot know this did come from, I don't want him coming to me because I didn't generate this stuff. I don't know how to do that. We know that the cleaned up image came from Grace's gavel, and then it went over to Lady Freedom Raw Narratives for further cleaning up, and then she produced a video, and that's kind of how I saw it. and how it came on our channel. And I reviewed it. I wouldn't have just popped it up on our channel, but I reviewed the information they had, and you could not see any layering here. And it looks like it's definitely all one image, which is very important, because that's one of the hardest things, is making sure that these things are not layered or manufactured in any way. And it didn't have any of those indicators, which is what made me take this one very, very, very seriously. And I still do take this very, very, very seriously. I don't think this is anything that we, the public, really are supposed to have, but we had the leaked video, and we have a lot of amazing people that have a lot of great skill. And when we put those skills to use for the better, then we get stuff like this, where we can finally see that what we've been told and how we've been condemned for feeling the way we feel, we're starting to get some stuff back that's showing us that this does hold water. How we're feeling does hold water. We believe that the parents are involved, the mom and stepdad are involved, at some extent, whether it was a child custody type of situation to something far, far worse. We knew that it was there, and nothing ever left us with any other thought than ground zero. And their behavior inconsistencies, and now we're getting this. And like I said on my live this morning, only the people responsible for the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers knows whether this is credible or holds water, right? I'm pretty confident that there are a few people saying, oh shit, right now. Probably people that are raising their voice, screaming, throwing crap, not really having the best night in the world, I would assume. But it is now out there, and we definitely know that there is something to be had and to be seen with what we had already known to be true in our gut. We just needed more information. So anyways, I don't want to bend your ear too much, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. We definitely are getting stuff in. This is definitely pretty significant in my book. And so I'm hoping that this perseverance and tenacity to find the truth doesn't end here. There's a lot of people that have been working really hard, and some of that is finally starting to hit some pay dirt. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to pay off. So just keep forging ahead, keep unearthing anything and everything we can. There's something out there. And don't forget, I'm still looking for the clip, and it was on an interview. I don't know which one, but it was on an interview where Chris said they will never find him. And I want to get that clipped. I need to find that. I heard it with my own ears. I know it happened. I know it existed. And I just want it in my hot little hands. I wonder if I clipped it once before, if it's in my big file. I got to go through everything, and it's going to take me hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to do it. So I'll just work through it until we find it. But let's just still, we need prayers, guys. This is not looking good, no matter how this is. Even if Sebastian left there and went somewhere, where did he go? This is not looking good, and it's been almost a year. We need to be praying. For those that pray, please join us. Pray, light a candle, do what you can. I truly believe prayer moves mountains. I'll never say anything different. None of us are perfect, but I feel like when we come together, everybody comes together and prays. I feel like it just does something. And so that's what I'm going to ask for each and every one of you, is pray for this young boy. Pray for his father. His father is a mess, as you can imagine. You know, he's been a mess since the day he got the call that his son wasn't in his bed. He has been a mess since that day. He has racked his brains. He has went out and searched. He has, he stopped his entire life for months. For months. And these people just want to move on with theirs. There's something wrong here, and we knew that. All of us knew that. And I believe When we have people coming together for a case, especially ones that don't really like each other, and there are a few, right? There are a few, like, I mean, Chronicles of the Shady. It's not like we are BFFs. That person tried to, be very nasty to me, but for the sake of this child and truth and justice and transparency, I mean, there's a lot of prayers to be had with that. And there's a lot of prayers answered with that as well. Don't forget that. So we need to keep that momentum going and just keep focused on Sebastian. Right now, this is not looking good, but it's solidifying a lot of our gut instincts that we knew that it was going to be a small circle that is responsible for this child's disappearance. This child is disappeared. He's missing. Other than that, we don't really have a whole lot to go on except our theories and our opinions. And right now, those theories and opinions, when we're starting to get some stuff coming out, we just need to keep working on trying to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. What this helps solidify, and I'm just going to leave you with this because we're all going to be going over to Justin for Alls at 7 o'clock. I'm just going to leave you with this. The objective is to find out who's responsible for his disappearance, because like I said, once we identify the who, now we can start seeing what is in, where this child could be, because let's face it, this child will not be somewhere that is unknown to these people. Okay. So this is a huge step in the right direction. And so now we just need to get that momentum and keep forging ahead, because this child is somewhere where these people left him. And they would have left him somewhere that is familiar and known to them. So now we've just shrunk the whole entire world, right? Before this picture, where he could be was anywhere in the world. Now with this picture, he can only be places that are known to the people that took him out of that house. You see? So we've got some momentum here. We've got to step in the right direction. Don't just assume anything just yet. So let's just keep moving forward. We can still have our opinions. We can still have our theories. But let's just take this photo for what it is. We know somebody was now officially removed from the home. What condition they were in, we don't know. Where they went, we don't know. So let's not prematurely judge that. Let's keep our opinions and our eyes on the prize, but not prematurely judge what we're seeing here. This is not looking good, and you guys know that this photo really disturbs me. And I know if it disturbs me this bad, it's got to be disturbing a lot of you. So we're just going to kind of forge ahead. We're going to monitor this situation, but we're also going to give this some breathing room, okay? And we're going to start talking about places we and law enforcement haven't yet searched. That's going to be coming up here in the near future. Plus, we're going to be discussing some Crystal Rogers. I think breaking it up, it's starting to really get a little intense. We know what we're seeing here. We know it can't be good, but let's just work together through it. I don't know what else to say. Anyways, guys, let's go over to Justin's. Oh, thank you. It's me, Jen. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank all of you guys. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Hobo Life, thank you for the super sticker. Too tired to play. Thank you for the super sticker. It's me, Jen. Says prayers for Sebastian. Thank you, my love. It's me, Jen, gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Again, thank you, my love. And whoever came aboard, welcome to the coffee club, i.e. the insane asylum. Don, 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 don. Or if we want to say, okay. Oh, Sammy G. Oh, absolutely. It's not really me putting it together. This is our audience. This is the audience working to find answers and to give their interpretations. Oh, thank you, Lanisha. This is our audience. This is not me. This is just me taking everything that the audience did after reviewing it and telling you what I saw and trying to explain it the best I can for them from their point of view. And, you know, it does make sense. Like I said, it can be interpreted. We went from it being really, I mean, this whole situation is really, really bad, as you guys can imagine. This is not a good situation for anybody. It's quite frankly scaring the crap out of me. And I just think it's bothering me very much. But we just got to keep forging ahead, because every time we take a step forward, we're getting a little bit closer. We're getting a little bit closer to the truth and hopefully to the location of where Sebastian is, so we can bring him home to his dad. And let's just keep working. If you guys have any ideas now that we're kind of honing in on, you know, the right people, I believe, you know, what places do we know that are associated with them publicly, like on public record? You know, people in that community have to talk. There's got to be something out there. That's what we need to be looking for. We need to try to find some targeted areas and get those areas over to, you know, Seth's team and Dog's team, so we can get those thoroughly searched. But anyways, guys, we'll see you guys over at Justin's. I love each and every one of you guys. God bless you. Please, please, please. My only request is that we pray for Sebastian, and please pray for Seth. You know, Seth has really been going through it. He loves his son. He loves he loves his son's army. He just appreciates everything everybody's doing. But, you know, it's been almost a year since he's seen his boy. That was his world. Okay. Sebastian was his world. He came here for Sebastian. He was, the whole purpose of him being here was not, you know, it's not like, you know, the girlfriend, boyfriend thing. It was here for his son. He was here for his son. He came here for his son. And he hasn't been able to hug his son in almost a year. We need to bring Sebastian home so Seth can hug his son again. All right, guys, let me know your interpretation. I love you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, what? Kind to one another. Bye, guys.